Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. So tonight we're going to review a couple of UFC auctions I was reviewing on Golden Auctions Saturday night. And we have some victories, we have some defeats, we have a little bit of heartbreak. Actually a tremendous amount of heartbreak, very disappointed in an item. And I think I'm going to regret not winning this item. So let's get right into it. So the first item I was trying to win at Golden tonight was this item here, 2017 Khabib event worn signed UFC 2019 walkout jersey, framed when he defeated Edson Barboza via unanimous decision. Comes with the UFC Fanatics certificate of authenticity. So we'll kind of look at this here. So pretty simple jersey, huge autograph here on the front in silver. It's a little bit hard to see. They zoom in here. It's Khabib's autograph. Here are some of the details, the Reebok logo, the UFC logo, the tag on the inside of the shirt, tag on the bottom, UFC Authentic. This is the nameplate on the framing, UFC 2019 Khabib signed event worn jersey. The headline event was Cyborg versus Holly Holm. It's the date, it was in Nevada. And this is the certificate of authenticity from UFC. The certificate hereby certifies that Khabib Nurmagomedov autographed and wore this jersey for Edson Barboza during UFC 2019, Cyborg vs. Holm, signed by the equipment manager and another rep from Fanatics. So I bid on this jersey and I lost. So this was the walkout jersey that was worn down the on camera out to the fight. They take the jersey off and then they go in the fight, obviously. So the reason I wanted to win this one is because he's only fought in 29 UFC fights, 29-0, and these jerseys don't come up too often. But I didn't feel all that bad about losing this because I had an opportunity to buy something else. But I did lose this. Looking back, I probably should have bid a little bit higher. But I try to save some money to win something else, which we'll get into. So that was the first item, one of three. The second item, Khamzat event-worn UFC debut walkout jersey. So this is his rookie UFC jersey he wore out to fight John Phillips during the infamous COVID phase. So what I learned about this was, and the kind of details are here, this was the walkout jersey for UFC Fight Island 1, also known as UFC on ESPN. July 16, 2020. So over 5 years ago on Yas Island in Abu Dhabi. And this was the fight against Phillips. And, you know, Khamzat, just a total animal. I don't know if he'll ever lose again. But this jersey is just an amazing piece of history. Doing a little bit of research and talking to a buddy of mine, you know, apparently when Khamzat went to fight Island, he would not leave, so he just stayed there and he fought a bunch of people in a very short amount of time. I forget how many it was, whether it was 3 or 4 fighters in like a couple months. And it's kind of funny because now I guess he doesn't fight all that often, and the UFC fans kind of give him shit about that. But let's kind of zoom in here. Here's the jersey, the Geico sponsor on here, Khamzat name. This is Boers, which is his, it means wolf in his native language, which is, it says it down here, in Chechen. Boers means wolf, and Khamzat signed this. This is the nameplate, event-worn jersey from UFC Fight Night, date, fight, location, which we talked about in Abu Dhabi. This is their certificate of authenticity, 100% genuine fight used in event-worn memorabilia. The authentic walkout jersey, signed by the reps with the hologram. Nice frame job, the item does come framed. And this is a cool piece of history. I mean, I guess the way you have to look at this type of stuff is the market is not yet caught up to the rarity and how special this is. So if you compare Khamzat to any other great across any other sport, hockey, baseball, basketball, football, and you could tell me you can get a debut worn jersey or anything connected to the event for Ended up winning for $4,270. I think that's a steal, in my opinion. So I was very happy about that. So this was the second auction of the night, and the next one is the one I'm absolutely destroyed over, and I know I'm gonna regret it one day. I'm gonna look back on this video, or somebody else is gonna look back on this video in a year, 2 years, 5 years, and be like, what a moron. How didn't this person win it? And while it is a little bit my fault, it kind of isn't. So let me get into it. So the Holy Grail, UFC 2029, Khabib versus Conor. Khabib event worn walkout t-shirt. I mean, that shirt is awesome. UFC, Reebok, the Khabib name and logo. Go here, that's the back. See the autograph by Khabib in red on the front. That is the rear tag, or the inside tag, in the rear of the shirt. That's another tagging, some more tagging. Another shot of the auto with the logo, UFC, Reebok, the Fanatics hologram. Certificate of authenticity. Khabib wore this jersey versus Conor during their fight. 2018, over 7 years ago, seems like yesterday. This is the most watched fight in UFC history. One of the most iconic moments in fight history. And it represents the pinnacle of Khabib collectibles. So the reason why I wasn't so upset about losing out on this jersey is because I knew I had an opportunity to win this one. And he's only fought 29 times in the UFC, and I think that cannot be discounted. There's only 29 of these walkout jerseys that are available. And I had an opportunity to win 2, and I missed out on both of them. So I'm pretty upset at myself. So why did I lose this jersey? So in my mind, let me talk through kind of my perspective on this. So if you consider this a grail and this will never come up again, which I doubt it will, but you have to assume that. You can't be like, oh, I'm going to bid conservative because I get a chance in a year or two. You have to come with the philosophy, or I like to think, that somebody like me would buy this and just hold on to it for like 10 or 20 years. So I was bidding on this, and let me see if it actually shows my bid history here. It doesn't. If I recall, so the final bid that won was the 1625. So I bid here, 250. I bid here, and I bid here. So I had 3 bids here. So what happened on Golden, how it works is if you get, the auction runs as normal. And then it goes into extended bidding, and you have 30 minutes to bid. If there's another bid that comes in with those 30 minutes, the auction extends another 30 minutes. And then it extends another 30 minutes if there's another bid. If there's no bid, the auction ends when it goes into extended bidding. It's basically how it works. So what I kept doing was when it would extend in the last minute or last 30 seconds, I'd bid at the last second. My thought is you want to push the auction as late as possible so maybe somebody will not stay up till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning or however long it takes, and I will win by fatigue. That was my thought. Almost like a UFC fighter. Gas them out and try to win late. So on this one, it was going fine and everything was working well. But for some reason, the last 30 seconds before I can put in my bid, either my browser glitched out or the internet glitched out and I couldn't place the bid, and my phone was across the house. I couldn't get to it. And even if I did, I'd probably have to log into my account. Long story short, I couldn't put in the bid and I lost. And I was furious at myself for not having a better plan or having a backup plan. So whoever won this for $19,825 with the buyer's premium. And as a reminder, how these type of auction houses work for Golden is when you bid, there's a buyer premiums added, and that buyer premium, which is 20% in this case, or 22% I think for Golden, that is split up between the buyer and the seller at a rate they negotiate. Keep it simple. So the person bid $16.25, the 22% is added, and that's the winning bid. I was prepared to go to $25,000 for this jersey. in my head. Would I have gone higher? We'll never know. I think I would have, but everyone has a breaking point. Everyone taps out. So, and my prediction is this is a $100,000 jersey one day. That is what I think this is going to be. And I'm going to look back and have a tremendous amount of regret, but that is life, and we shall move on. But we will focus on what we actually did win, which I think is awesome, and I'm so happy to add to my collection, and I can't wait to put it up on my wall, is this Khamzat rookie jersey. During COVID, a crazy time in UFC history, a crazy time in human history, and I think collectibles from the COVID era, whether it's cards, autographs, jerseys, whatever, as time goes by and the future generations forget about COVID and they look back on COVID with an interest, a certain nostalgia. They watch more videos about what happened during COVID, and in the future, you know, people that weren't born and they don't even know what COVID is until they look back on history, they'll see their perception, how stupid we were. Maybe we did some things right. Apparently we did a lot of things wrong. And I just think it's an interesting part of human history where collectibles from that point will go up in value as time goes by, especially for the people that lived through COVID, because that's when the collectibles boom happened. So there's even more nostalgia. So the people that got into collectibles during COVID, that's ingrained in their memory. Now we move past this point, 5 years. There's going to be a point in the future where people look back on all the COVID collectible stuff and it's going to have a resurgence. I don't know how long that's going to take, but this jersey is awesome. Cool piece of history, and I can't wait to get it. So that's all I got. Please like and comment on the channel. Really helps out the algorithm. Please subscribe to get daily UFC updates. I would greatly appreciate it. And stay healthy, take care of yourself. And remember, like, sometimes things work out for a reason. I'm going to start doing some more commentary on here on investing, the way people look at assets, the concept of money, time, what it all means, how I look at it, and how my perspective has been born out of reading a lot, learning from other people, but also making a lot of mistakes, having a lot of hard times, and developing, I would say, alligator skin with a lot of situations and being able to tough things out, but also understanding that time is the greatest multiplier when it comes to investing in collectibles, and to use that to your advantage and to get out of your own way. That's all I got. Have a good night.